Good day, friends.
It is often called the Mi-12, but that's not entirely correct. The letter V was assigned to projects during the development stage, and the Mi designation only after entering serial production. The V-12, the world's heaviest lifting helicopter, also known as the Mi-12, was the largest helicopter ever created by humankind. And this marvel of engineering was the achievement of Soviet designers. Unfortunately, the giant, which caused a sensation at the International Aerospace Salon and even received the Sikorsky Prize, was never used as intended and instead became a museum exhibit. In the late 1950s and early 1960s, the Cold War was in full swing. The USSR and the USA were actively building up military strength and competing in the arms race. Naturally, the need to create a super-heavy helicopter was driven by military reasons. It was designed to transport intercontinental ballistic missiles to remote missile bases. Why a helicopter? A giant capable of carrying heavy loads by air would eliminate the need to build a network of railroads, which would make Soviet bases extremely easy to detect. In 1959, Soviet engineers proposed their helicopter project, and in 1962 the Soviet leadership approved it. Just 6 years later, its first successful test flight took place. In February 1968, the V-12 lifted a payload of 31 tons to an altitude of 2,910 meters, and a year later it raised 44.2 tons to 2,255 meters, setting a world record for helicopter lifting capacity. The V-12 may not have been the first helicopter with twin rotors. Most likely the title belonged to the German Fokker-Achilles Fa-223 from World War II. But it was the first helicopter with side-by-side rotors. It was larger than a Boeing 737 and could carry more people, up to 196 passengers. To achieve double the lifting capacity without enormous costs, it used the rotor motor assemblies of the Mi-6, a proven helicopter already in wide service. The cargo bay was 28.15 meters long and 4.4 meters high and wide. A city bus could easily fit inside. The helicopter was so large that it required a crew of 6, including its own electrician, all located in a 2-deck cockpit. The international debut of the V-12, also known as the Mi-12, took place at the Paris Air Show in Le Bourget in 1971. NATO, which gave it the codename Homer, all Soviet helicopters were assigned NATO codenames beginning with H, feared it might be used as a tactical airlifter capable of carrying armored vehicles to support helicopter assault forces. But those fears proved unfounded. Only 2 prototypes were ever built. What happened? The fact is, American spy satellites became capable of surveying much larger areas of Soviet territory, while intercontinental ballistic missiles were becoming lighter. They eventually became so light that they could be transported by trucks. Despite its lifting achievements, the military no longer needed such a helicopter. Thus, the V-12 program was discontinued. It never became part of the Soviet air fleet, but it can still be seen today. The first Mi-12 is stored at the Moscow helicopter plant, while the second is on display at the Air Force Museum in Menino. Thank you all for watching. If you found this interesting, subscribe to the channel, click the bell, and give the video a like.